name is Chase Johnson. I'm from Denver, Colorado, and we have used C3 Group several times on some of our large loss commercials and our higher end residential for their appraisal services and their public adjusting services. Their knowledge of the market, of the ever-changing regulations, and their ability to create a very thorough estimate from an understanding of construction and the management of the project.
Good afternoon, everybody. Lead meteorologist John Choquette here for our daily 12 p.m. forecast on this Friday. Sponsored, as always, by C3 Group and Merlin Law Group. Check out both of their pages in the description below if you haven't checked it out already, if you're watching us here on Facebook. If you need any help with the website or the app, if you're new to Hail Trace, or you just got some new employees who need to kind of square things away, or maybe just want to learn some stuff that you didn't know we could do, give us a call and we can set up a training at your earliest convenience, so that way you'll be squared away and be fully versed on what our app and what our website has the potential to do. So, forecast for today, I did say hail possible on the East Coast and on the West Coast. Looks like we got 3 different areas we're looking at here. I'm going to start east and work my way west. And I said everywhere but Kansas City. And Kansas City's not at the risk today, unfortunately. Up to some ping pong ball size hail is possible today across Virginia and the far northeastern sections of North Carolina. I have a 2% chance for Virginia Beach, only because it's a coastal city. A little hard to see if we can make these storms make it all the way right to the ocean. But any of the strongest storms could see some ping pong ball size hail. Turn up the volume, he says. I think the volume should be okay. I think so. I mean, my mic's at full. Yeah, my mic's at full speed there, Don. So I don't know what. Again, check it up. Anyway, I'm just gonna keep that going. If we have any problems, I'll check this back afterwards and try to fix it for the next video on Monday. Anyway, we have another area across the High Plains, parts of Colorado. I think Denver is going to be just to the east of the biggest risk today. Have a 2% chance across Colorado Springs. I think the hail size is going to be pretty small on this. Looks like we could see a quarter, $half size hail with the biggest there. However, further north up into central South Dakota, could see up to some tennis ball, maybe even a little bit larger size hail. Pierre is at 15%, probably the best chance for hail across the United States today, with storms forming this afternoon, continuing through the evening hours and into the early overnight. And then, yes, on the West Coast here in Oregon, this is where Bend, Oregon, the only real big population center I could find, has a 2% chancing up to some quarter-size hail. I think some more just marginally severe hail, bigger down-gust wind type situation across Oregon. Also, most of the population, I think, is kind of edged right up between about Portland and the California border there. So I think Bend's your biggest city. I know Bend did get hit by a big storm a few years back with up to 2-inch hail, so it's not improbable you could see some big-time hail in the Cascade Mountain Range. However, more unlikely than likely, so up to some quarter-size hail. So there you go, I got hail on both coasts possible for today and across the center of the U.S. And since I didn't put Denver in the forecast, I'll probably make a hail in Denver today. That seems to be how things like to roll. We're going to start in the future radar here, showing isolated storms forming pretty early in the afternoon hours, probably after about 3, 4 o'clock, or 2, 3 o'clock actually. I'm trying to remember, the East Coast is a little ahead of here in Oklahoma. So isolated supercells, again, those strongest have some ping pong ball size hail. Up to the northern plains where your best chance for hail is. Big storms look like they're going to form and turn into a cluster in the late evening into the overnight hours and push their way down south into Nebraska, where they'll no longer be producing much of any hail. But those initial supercells could see pretty large hail up to tennis ball size. Further to the south, this particular mile run is pretty quiet in Colorado in terms of big-time severe weather. However, if something can get its act together, we could see large quantities of hail upwards of $half size. And finally, on the West Coast, you guys see some storms forming in Oregon in the evening hours for the West Coast. I think it was a couple hours back, so after probably about 5 o'clock their time. So a whole bunch of possible hail scattered across the United States today. Tomorrow looks to be a little more focused on just the high plains, central plains, and then up into the mountain west up parts of Idaho and Montana. The two areas I highlight in orange could see up to 2-inch hail. Again, it's going to be in the afternoon with the daytime heating after about 3 or 4 o'clock local time. Again, I have Denver just outside the risk for tomorrow. We'll see if we push that back to the mountains for the day on Saturday. We'll have a forecast graphic for that, updating you guys tomorrow morning as usual. Seeing the storms form in the afternoon hours, kind of rotating up to the north. We have a system moving onto the United States coastline tonight, and that'll continue to push off to the east and give that trigger mechanism for some storms. Again, up to 2-inch hail in sections, maybe. Billings, probably your biggest city at risk there, across Montana. And then the future radar showing the central plains as well. Some storms forming in Colorado and parts of Nebraska for your day on Saturday. And again, it's going to be in the evening after about 4 or 5 o'clock local time. That's all I got for you guys today. Follow us here on Facebook as always. Follow all of our other social media feeds. If you hit See First on Facebook, that'll help make our posts show up more on your newsfeed if you haven't already, so that way you don't miss any of our content, any of the videos that we post or live coverage, whatever it may be. It'll show up more on your newsfeed than if you don't hit See First. Give us a call, number right here on the screen, 855-334-4245. Any comments, questions, or concerns you may have, need to set up a training, or you're interested in what Hailtrace has to offer. It's a great number to call. Email us at info@hailtrace.com or visit our website, hailtrace.com, for more details. And finally, follow us on Instagram at Hailtrace. We do updates, interesting facts, cool pictures, whatever it may be, especially when we're out chasing. Our stories are updated very frequently, assuming we have cell phone coverage. So it's another great way to follow the whereabouts of Hailtrace as well. Have a great weekend, everyone. I'll see you again on Monday. We'll do posts on Facebook doing forecast graphics through the weekend, and I'll see you guys Monday at 12 p.m. on whatever platform you prefer to watch us on. Have a great weekend, everyone. I'll talk to you later.